What is actually going on? Galactic politics and the dark agenda. Now, although I won't share plans on how to stop the dark forces to keep the dark forces from counterattacking them, I'm willing to share the plans of the dark forces. First, you have to understand all the players within the game at the moment. To begin, I would like to start by saying Lucifer, Satan, and the devil are three completely separate entities, and they don't always work together. Most of what you actually see is a battle between Lucifer and Satan. I share the story of Lucifer here. Thread. The story of Lucifer. Lucifer currently calls the planet Venus home and has been helping humanity awaken. He's the one responsible for the Law of One disclosure in the 80s, and while you could say he fights for the light side, he also wishes to rule us, and that keeps him from being the champion we really need. Sadly, we have very few players on the side of light in the game helping us at the moment. Now next, you have to understand the political spectrum of our galaxy and what is going on. Our galaxy is mostly ruled by the Orion Empire. The Orion Empire is governed by 7 dragon queens, although the secret power behind the Orion Empire is Abraxas. Abraxas is the richest being in the galaxy and likes to have his fingers in everything. He's our galaxy's version of Earth's Rothschild banker. Abraxas is the son of Yaldabaoth, the demiurge, after he raped the first Eve. He's an androgynous immortal. His primary mission is to empower the Archons and free his father, who is currently imprisoned within Saturn. When you see Black Cube worship, this is Yaldabaoth worship. As Yaldabaoth is imprisoned within the Black Cube of Saturn, Abraxas is known for 2 things. First is that he enslaves worlds and turns them into lush farms while completely stripping the planets of all their resources. Once they are stripped bare and dead, he then transforms them into weaponized world ships to add to his armada to help capture and enslave new worlds. The other big thing he is known for is that he controls the immortality elixir industry, the nectar of the gods. This is done by farming souled beings, usually men with some Orion genetics within them like humans have, and when they reach a high enough population, they are then harvested, and their essence drained to make the elixir. The movie Jupiter Ascending disclosed this. The Wachowskis had to become transgender as a payment to the House of Abraxas for permission to make this movie. Loki is the son of Abraxas, the result of a brief affair with Queen Namu, who is also the mother of Odin and Gaia. Loki is the one behind the big gay transgender agenda being pushed right now. Loki is the current representative of the House of Abraxas within our solar system at the moment. So with that established, our solar system is actually being governed by the Vanir Sorians, whose current leader in our solar system is Allah, aka Njord Nanar Sin Hyperion Konsuk. The Sirius Empire has been running our solar system since it was created, but do so under the authority of the Orion Empire. The Orion Empire allows them to do so as long as the Sirius Empire continues to provide the Orions with a chunk of the profit. Allah is the current Satan of our solar system. He has been its ruler since around 500 AD. When King Bor-Anu and his son Prince Enlil-Numr, Allah's father, left our solar system and returned to the Sirius system, there is also the faction of the Draco and Greys, who are simply trying to kill off the Earth in an attempt to free Yaldabaoth the demiurge from Saturn and claim humanity as a slave race. Now, to fully understand what is going on, you have to understand the truth of what our solar system really is. Our solar system basically acts as the prison wardens of Yaldabaoth the demiurge, aka Samael, the father of demons, or Saklas, the father of archons, the creator of the realm of matter, the grand architect, the lord of darkness. The planets of Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune act as the 7 seals that keep him imprisoned. Over 1 billion years ago, during the Demiurge War, Yaldabaoth was defeated right here in our very own solar system. To keep him from escaping, his consciousness was trapped within the planet Saturn. In order to accomplish this, 7 powerful goddesses gave up their lives to become the 7 planetary seals. The consciousnesses of these planets continuously keep the consciousness of Saturn Yaldabaoth in check to keep him from regaining a foothold on our reality once again. Those who serve the Dark Lord Yaldabaoth are constantly fighting to try and free him from his prison. To accomplish that, the planets within our solar system must die. This is why Mars and several other planets have been wiped of life. Our solar system has been at war for millions of years as the forces of darkness seek to free their Dark Lord. Earth is a much more important battleground than many believe. 4,000 years ago, Marduk Ra Thor Lucifer led a rebellion that chased the Saurian Anunnaki off of the planet Earth. When he did this, he allied with the Draco and Greys at the advice of his uncle Loki. After the Saurian Anunnaki launched a counter-attack and laid waste to much of Marduk's infrastructure, Loki and the Draco and Greys then turned on Marduk and chased him off the planet as well. For the last 4,000 years our planet has been under the control of Draco, reptilians, and Greys who are loyal to Yaldabaoth, while the Saurian Anunnaki have been warring with them in order to regain control of Earth. At this point, the Saurian Vanir under the control of Allah has mostly regained control of Earth. Their primary agents on this planet are within the banking system now. Abraham and his descendants work for the Vanir, as Allah's father Terah was a high priest of Nannar-Sin aka Allah and actually possessed his bloodline. Enlil originally came to Abraham and gave him the mission to wipe out the bloodline of Odin, the original creator of Earth and humanity. The bloodline of Odin can be found within white and red races, so there are multiple forces pushing their agendas on humanity and Earth as part of this war. Odin Enki to Adonai Poseidon created Earth out of the remains of the planet Tiamat after it was destroyed in the Tiamat War. Originally, he ruled this world as a sovereign entity separate from the Orion and Sirius empires, and several races aligned with the light lived here including the Aesir Saurians and Orions, and several Pleiadian races including the red-hair Atlans. For a while Earth was a spiritual paradise, until Abraxas was able to convince the Orion queens that they needed the wealth of our world. Requesting more and more payments, they told King Anu of the Sirius Empire that if he didn't make Odin and Earth meet their new payment quotas, he would be removed from power. So, King Anu and the Vanir Saurians attacked Earth with the help of Abraxas and the Orions and defeated Odin and enslaved the original inhabitants. When the original inhabitants that you might know as the fallen angels rebelled against their slavery, Odin was forced to make humans to replace them to make sure that the payments were met. The fallen angels didn't rebel against the light of heaven like the church would have you believe. The fallen angels actually rebelled against the lower heaven, Sirius Empire that is ruled by Satan, and in an attempt to help free this world from the clutches of darkness. So having laid out some of the basics of what is going on here is the agendas of each party. Abraxas, you might have heard about a harvest that is coming. That is because Abraxas currently has his harvest ships coming to Earth, with several of them already here. This partially what the depopulation that is going on is currently about, stealing the life essences of the population of Earth to make immortality elixir. This is part of the secret behind the Uyghurs being killed for the organs. There is more to that as well, as they are also having their consciousness stolen as well, which I will get into later when I mention the grey agenda and where their consciousness is going. This is also why a lot of states are beginning to pass laws claiming the state gets control of bodies when they die, although they are claiming it's for composting. Abraxas is also behind the climate change agenda, which if you notice is actually more harmful to Earth than helpful. CO2 is what causes plants to grow. Carbon is literally the lifeblood of our planet. So why are they trying to put controls on that instead of all the other worse poisons? It's because they are trying to kill Earth. By wiping out planet life they can deliver the death blows. Earth is the strongest of the 7 seals and if Earth falls, they are guaranteed to free Yaldabaoth from Saturn. This is why the climate change agenda has nothing about planting more trees or cleaning up the oceans and rivers, etc. It's a secret plan to kill Earth disguised as helping it. Loki, the devil, Loki is currently on Earth helping to push the Abraxas agenda forward. He's also the one pushing the gay transgender agenda on the Western world. This is because any resistance that could arise would do so in the West where the bloodlines of Odin reside. He currently is running things behind the scenes and preparing the world for the Antichrist. Players like Saurus are getting their orders from him. Allah and the Vanir Saurians, Allah and the Vanir are currently helping Abraxas with his plan, but at the same time they wish to still rule Earth after the harvest is completed. Legally, the Vanir have ownership of the brown, black, and yellow races according to galactic laws. They are currently the ones pushing for white hate across the media and wish to eliminate the white and red races completely. This is because the white and red races cannot legally be enslaved due to galactic law because they possess the bloodline of Odin who is an Orion and Sirius prince. During the time of Atlantis, the white and red human races lived together, along with Orion and Pleiadians. These races sometimes bred together. The goal is to wipe out all traces of the surviving bloodlines of Atlantis. Once this goal is accomplished, then the Vanir Saurians will be able to completely enslave the entire population of Earth legally under galactic law, while the bloodline of Abraham which contains the bloodline of Allah will act as the rulers of the slave population. The Vanir Saurians are actually the heaven of the Bible. Their armies are led by Michael Ninerda. Notice that the Bible never says that their victory ends with free will. The financial groups BlackRock and Vanguard are owned by the Saurians, the Draco and Greys. The Draco and Greys serve Yaldabaoth and the Archons, but don't really care about what Abraxas wants. The Draco are the elite warriors of Yaldabaoth. They are currently trying to get the human race to give up their souls and become Archon-controlled drones. Greys are synthetic drones that cannot reproduce like we do. Instead they increase their numbers by infiltrating worlds with souled humanoids and secretly poisoning and sterilizing them. They will secretly poison the foods, environment, and even medicines of populations, making them sicker and sicker, until the populations are so desperate that they agree to transfer their consciousness into grey drone bodies. Thing is that, when this happens, they lose their souls. Greys only possess spirit consciousness and are connected to a hive mind system that is controlled by the Archons. Because Greys no longer have their souls, they have no free will and cannot act on their own, making them slaves forever. There is no killing yourself to escape this slavery either. For once you are part of the Greys, dying only causes you to reawaken within a new grey drone body. Often Greys will come to human worlds and present themselves as enlightened saviors, offering them advanced tech in medicine and food production, etc. But these are actually lies, and instead they offer them poisons leading to things such as autism within the populations, and as time goes on, sterilization. The Greys are heavily involved in these sectors on Earth. Currently one of the most sinister group of Greys is working on the Maitreya project. This group of Greys, known as the Maitra or Maitra, have been infiltrating New Age and light worker groups, spreading the seeds of a chosen one appearing called the Maitreya. This being will be a genetically enhanced human that they created that will appear to be a Christ-like being that can perform miracles but will actually be the Antichrist. After winning over the populations, he will convince them that he will now offer them the immortality that was promised. He will offer them new immortal bodies, but it will really be that people are being put into grey drones bodies and will be enslaved for eternity with no escape to their enslavement. The Aesir are trying to help wake humanity up to these things that are going on. I myself represent this faction. We were the original protectors of this solar system and wardens of the prison of Yaldabaoth, but our numbers are greatly diminished, and our last hope is that an anomaly awakens within the bloodline of Odin that can save our galaxy before the Dark Lord of Saturn is released. Our last strongholds are on Venus and Jupiter, the Pleiadians. The Pleiadians are also mostly of the light and wish to help free our solar system, but their numbers and strength are not enough to do so. The darkness has been trying to infiltrate their worlds as well, and some of them are beginning to lose hope as well, because the Pleiades are the last bastion of free will left within our galaxy. But right now the Pleiadians are like a small straight pride group in the middle of a gay pride festival. This reality is called the Game of Poverty. It was created by Sophia the Mother as a game for her husband, God the Father, to play. All soul beings act as player avatars for God to play the game. The meaning of life is for all soul beings to come together and figure out how to end all poverty.